Hey everyone, this is Scott of the Scott Man, and we are here in Northville, Michigan, here to do a walking tour of the city of Northville here in like the western suburbs of Metro Detroit. So it's a little bit of a break from a lot of my travels around the United States and around the world, but every once in a while I like to film some things here in my home state of Michigan. So we're going to do that today by walking around Northville, show you the downtown area, even head over to the historic village. So I'm going to turn the camera the other way so that way you're not seeing me the entire time. So over here we're at the main little public square here in downtown. Got a very nice fountain. We'll start our walk. Yeah, this is really nice here. See some people throwing in their pennies and their dimes and other coins in here. So yeah, nice little square over here, different chairs where people can sit down and just enjoy the beautiful day like today. It's nice and warm out too. And there's even looks like a little stage too for like performances. So we'll head over here, and what's really nice during the warmer months like here in the summertime is that they close down the roads here in downtown Northville, right here in downtown, to allow people to basically be able to dine on the road or heck, even walk on the road too. So we're gonna walk around downtown for a little bit, and then we're gonna head that way and then to the left over toward the historic village. All right, so we're currently on Main Street over here. There's different businesses along in here and some restaurants. It's like a salon and spa over there. Huh, even some spots for cornhole, so that's pretty cool. Got a winery over here. Some wine, beer, cider, and fly charcuterie. Lots of different things. Long kitchen and bath design. And yeah, over here, like we'll be walking down that way later, but as you can tell, that's basically where they've closed off the road so people can technically walk right in the street. But we'll go ahead and we'll step up here. Got a nice restaurant over here, Exchange Bar and Grill. Everybody's outside on the patio, enjoying a nice late lunch here. Yeah, it is a beautiful day, so I'm glad all kinds of people are out walking around the community here, so this is really nice. Got looks like a store for like kids and babies in here. You see all the stuff in the window here. All right, we'll have to go back over here. It's getting a little busy. The Bee's Knees, and then Tuscan Cafe. Great Harvest Bread Company. So I can get some home-baked bread inside. That's pretty cool. And then you got the movie theater over here, the Marquee. Yeah, it might be good that I'm walking in the middle of the road right here just because I'm only gonna be going one way over here. Got a Comerica Bank, also an outdoor ATM you can use. Table 5 restaurant, and there's also La George. I've eaten at La George before. They have really good Mediterranean food inside there. We've got the Northville Gallery over there. So the small little art gallery. The Brown Dog Treats, Streaks, and Eats. And unfortunately, that store looks like is closing down. Another little small theater. And yeah, I pan over here, not really a whole lot going on in here. Janitti's. So here's like the main, the main part of downtown. Well, we're technically in it right now, but it's like they have the road open on that side of the road, and then of course down that way. But over here, once again, is, well, I'll show this. I'll show the main road over here first, and then we'll get up on the sidewalk. But yeah, this is really cool, where they got some tables and chairs in the road, and even some more cornhole, excuse me, not cornhole. Although imagine playing cornhole in a cornhole. I don't even think a cornhole is a real thing. So I'm just making up stuff right now. And there's even a Connect 4 game there. Got a jeweler there. Now I can't speak properly. Celebrity Pets Company. Just a little pet store in here. Property Partners. Not sure what they're all about. Rebecca's. It's a restaurant, even an ice cream parlor. Colors of the Wood. Wow, that's really nice there. It's different wood handicrafts there. And then here's the northern end of downtown. So we'll go ahead and we'll cross over to the other side of the road here. Well, not that road. We're going to go back into downtown. So we're just going to... Not really much down that way other than parking. There's also a CVS pharmacy. All right, let's head down this way, and so now I'll show the businesses on this side of Center Street, like on the west side of the road. Music and Arts Center. Another jeweler. Don't look like they're open today though. Oh, they normally are, but not on this particular Saturday that I'm filming this. Center Street Grill. Oh, it'd be really cool to eat right here at this booth. D&D bicycles. We gotta take a little quick look right here. See mostly me. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see inside, but see some bicycles on display. Dear Prudence, little boutique. Blackbird, also by Dear Prudence.
What is this? What is that?
Looks like somebody lost there. Epiphany Kitchens. Looks like it's for like kitchen design. Another salon here. Oh, they even offer Swedish massage and deep tissue massage. Little art gallery there. So we'll briefly go down this way, but over here though, yeah, the road is open to traffic, so we will not be able to walk in the road here, but that's okay. Dancing Eye Gallery, different like album covers for some vinyl records. insurance agency. And more different parking options over that way. We'll over to where Northville Square is. We're going to cross over the road really quick. So we're just going to go just several feet or so down this way just to show some of the other stuff over here. National Realty Center, so just a realtor there. And yeah, here at Northville Square, they got all kinds of different businesses in here. Mostly have to go inside for that. We don't have to really worry about that one too much. So we'll head back this way. Take us back to where Center Street is. So we're back along Main Street. Forgot to point that out, but this is Main Street here that we're on. We've got Joseph's Coney Island. It's a little Coney Island here. Not too busy right now, mainly because it is like after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's pretty much a late lunch for people at this point in time. Good, nice restaurant here. So yeah, all kinds of great restaurants here in downtown Northville, which is really, really nice. I need to check out more of these restaurants here in Northville. I'm gonna quickly cross over here. They have a stop sign anyway. Okay, so we'll walk down Center Street. So if you're to drive south on Center Street going out of Northville, you go by basically where Northville Downs used to be, which was a horse race track, which has closed down. I thought I heard they're supposed to be moving it somewhere else, but here in Northville it did close down, and I think they're building like condominiums or something over there. Like you'll see what I mean coming up when I look, because I'll be able to get a good view of where Northville Downs used to be, and then Center Street eventually turns into Sheldon Road once you get down toward like Plymouth and Canton, that area. But yeah, it's like not really a whole lot over on that side. Some businesses, a mortgage office, another realtor. So we'll go down Mary Alexander Court. Doesn't look like much here, but as we go up this little hill, it'll get a little bit more interesting because there's some different restaurants over here, and then we'll be at that little public square we started the video. We'll be at the back end of it. And then to our right, that is a parking garage. So that's the top part of the parking garage, and there's a parking area underneath that too. As a matter of fact, that's where my car is right now. What's nice about Northville is that parking is free here. So you don't have to worry about paying at a parking meter or anything. It's all free, which is really nice. At least as of when I'm filming this video here in 2025. So you never know, they might change things in future years. Although here it's like, yeah, it's 3-hour parking only during like weekdays, but on nights or evenings and weekends, you can park there all day if you like. And yeah, there's the back part of the public square, because you got the back side of the stage there. So we'll continue this way, and so yeah, here's where it's a little bit more interesting because we got a couple different restaurants over here. We have a Mexican restaurant, Los Tres Amigos, for some Mexican food. And then you have a really good Japanese restaurant. This is Koji, which is a sushi and Japanese restaurant. They are really good. I've been there like 3 times. Back before I did like restaurant tours and food tours, I was doing those like Travel Delights videos, which were food videos, but they're just for a single restaurant. That was the place I went to a long time ago, and even off camera, I went there a couple of years or so ago, and they still have like amazing Japanese food. Mod Market. Some cool stuff on display there. Nest to Nest Home Consignment Shop. Okay, so here's the view. So we look off to the right. Yeah, notice what is not there anymore if you've been to Northville in the past. Because over there where you see all that construction, that is where Northville Downs used to be. It was a horse racing track. But again, I think, I don't quote me on this, but I think they might be moving. I think they were moving that to someplace else. But I'm not exactly sure where. But where Northville Downs used to be, it's, yeah, they've torn that down and they're putting, I think, condominiums in there or something. But it's like a lot of horse race tracks around Metro Detroit have disappeared. Like even like the one out in Hazel Park, that one closed down well before this one did. And you know, that's a beautiful church over that way, Presbyterian Church. Okay, so now we're gonna head over to like the historic village, which is basically called Mill Race Village. Because we're basically back to the western end of Main Street of downtown. So yeah, that's downtown Northville, so not really all that much. But it's really nice, a lot of great restaurants. We can go ahead and cross over really quick. Thankfully, it's a three-way stop, so it's like just don't dawdle, and it's like it'd be just fine crossing over the road. But yeah, during the colder months, though, downtown Northville is completely open. Although during the pandemic, they did have downtown closed off year-round because they were trying to do like outdoor dining for that when the whole social distancing stuff was taking place, like during the pandemic, and they were trying to come up with innovative ways to allow people to dine without being too close. So that's still hard to believe that we had to deal with all that a few years ago, but oh well, at least we're past that now. Got a rehab center there for like orthopedic spine. Another realtor there, and so Mill Race Village is basically a couple blocks or so away from downtown. Early Bird Northville, some different roosters, or like not real roosters, like more like monuments or whatever, like decorative roosters that you put in your yard. Yeah, when it comes to these like walking tours for some of the different communities around Metro Detroit or even stuff in Detroit, this is going to end up being one of my shorter ones. But there's not a problem with that. It's like, so I definitely want to show off some more of the different communities around Metro Detroit. It's a nice, it mixes things up a little bit. It's a nice little break from some of my main content for when I go around to different places around the United States or around the world. Which, yeah, regarding that, I got a lot more stuff in the works, too. A lot more trips planned, so definitely stay tuned. But whenever I can, though, I still want to film some things here in good old Michigan. Because it's like I don't want to completely give up my roots here just yet. So here's Griswold Street. Oh, we have a yellow brick road here. We have to follow it. However, this one does not take you to Oz. It just takes you to this little sidewalk along Griswold. So just walk down this way, and then after this creek way up ahead, okay, now you can see my finger. That'll be the Mill Race Village. Got an eye doctor over there. So yep, another parking area. You can technically park here too for downtown Northville, although it is a little bit of a walk, but it is an option if parking somehow is completely full in downtown Northville. In fact, we'll finish off the video over there at this park. Because when we leave Mill Race Village, there's a little bridge which would take us back over to this park. And over there, a nice little, looks like a castle, like it's a playground for the kids, but it's cool as it looks like a castle. So it makes you feel like, so it's like your kids will feel like that they're in medieval times. So this park here, this is Ford Field, not to be confused with the Ford Field where the Detroit Lions play in downtown Detroit. But before we walk on over, we got a beautiful view of the little creek over here. Oh, this is pretty. Yeah, look at this. This is quite beautiful, I have to say. Okay, so now we're approaching the Mill Race Historic Village, or Mill Race Historical Village. So we got a nice collection of really nice historical buildings. So this little park was, or this historic village was created back in 1972 by the Northville Historical Society. So where we are right now with this historical village, it's basically was donated to Northville by the Historic Society, or not Historic Society, but it was by the Ford Motor Company, excuse me. My nose is starting to tickle a little bit. Yeah, you can see some of the pollen flying around, so it's making my nose tickle. And try to be careful here. So yeah, that's rather unfortunate though, but yeah. So a little fun fact though. Oh, why is it? Okay. Let's get this camera off me a little bit. So it's like, I do have another video on Northville. It's with older quality, so it's not as good as this video, but it definitely does show you I do go into the historic village where I show off in greater detail in that. So I'll put a link in this video and maybe even put like a little annotation in the top right, so that way it'll allow you to click in the video. But what we can do as an alternative, we can walk along the creek. But it's definitely worth checking out though. So let's go, let's go back to the other way. Which, yeah, it's like, yeah, it was totally, I could go back after 5, but unfortunately I got stuff later in the day. So again, but thankfully I do have the other Northville video. It's a lot older quality, so not as good as the quality of that video, but that video does show the historic village in that, so no worries there. But yeah, there's the nice creek over there. In fact, we can even see a little bit from this side. Although it's kind of like one of the backs of one of the buildings though, but what is over there, there's like a grist mill, a church, a gazebo, a school, so even, oh, there's a nice little rustic bridge here, which I can even show more of the bridge. We just won't be able to cross it. But yeah, so yeah, this is the bridge here, and then of course you take the bridge over there, and then you got the main village over there, which you even get a little bit of a better view from over here. And yeah, here's more of the Ford Field Park. Got picnic tables over there, and a big baseball diamond over here. Oh, small little duck over there. can go a little bit further. But yeah, the little historic village though, oh yeah, you can get a little bit of a view of one of the buildings over here too. Yeah, the Rouge River sounds really nice over here. But yeah, the historic village is not all that big. It's like if we were able to walk through that, we could easily get through in like 1 or 2 minutes. Oh yeah, so here's a good view of the. Oh yeah, I could definitely see the private party over there. I see like almost like a wedding party. I see like everybody in dresses. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on. But yeah, here we can get a little sneak peek of the village though, so that's pretty cool. And you got like an old schoolhouse there too. But yeah, really cool. So at least we got to see a little bit of the historic village. And then up there, there's steps which will take you back up to downtown Northville. That takes you up to where the CVS pharmacy is. All right, so yeah, unfortunately, again, we couldn't go into the historic village itself, but we got to see a little bit of it from the outside. But of course, the main thing I wanted to show off in this video anyway was downtown Northville, which I was able to do that. But with the historic village, you can definitely check out my main Northville video, which I filmed like several years ago. In fact, it might have been almost like a whole decade ago, but it's still up on YouTube, so feel free to check it out. But yeah, Northville is quite a nice community here in the western part of Metro Detroit, just a few miles to the west of I-96 and I-275. And it's definitely worth checking out. So I hope you enjoyed this walking tour of Northville, Michigan. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out any future adventures. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out here from Northville, Michigan.